Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of my vlog. I'm so excited to tell you that I'm already a permanent resident here in the UK, as you have seen on the title of this video, and I want to share everything, all the information that you may need. If you are looking forward to being a permanent resident here in the UK, then you can watch this video because you can prepare as early as now. I'm gonna talk a lot of things such as life in the UK test, the money that I paid, the requirements, and I also have like screenshots when I was applying for it so that I could share it to you guys. So I hope you watch this until the end. You need to be 5 years already here in the UK. A little bit of history, by the way, just so that you know. I arrived in the UK November 12, 2018. And then I applied for my ILR application online on October 3, 2023. So if you've noticed, it's not yet 5 years, right? It's like 1 month before I will be 5 years. But you can actually apply 28 days before you are eligible. And that's either before the date of your application or the date of the decision of your first visa, and then any date up to 28 days after the date of application. For me, I used the date of decision. On my passport, my visa started October 24, 2018, which is still not yet 5 years, but because I could apply 28 days earlier than that, then I was able to apply October 3, 2023. My friend, we came in the UK together. We had the decision at the same time as well, but she applied way earlier as well because she used the date of application. I think it was 2 weeks earlier than me, and she's now a permanent resident. She's got an ILR as well. I will be including the link down below for this information. Make sure to check on that if you're about to apply as well, because they could change it. You might be watching this vlog 2 or 3 years later and probably they made a lot of changes already and probably that one is not applicable. So make sure to check on that link. And you should have passed the Life in the UK test. You meet the salary requirements as well. You're still needed for the job. Your employer will need to provide a document confirming this, and I will talk about the requirements later on as well. What is Life in the UK test? It is a computer-based multiple questions test with a total of 24 questions, and you have 45 minutes to answer. The passing mark is 75%. The minimum mistakes that you can have is 6. So if you have 7 mistakes, then you are already failed. And then for this test, you have to book an appointment. You have to go there physically and do the exam on their computers in the test center. You have to pay £50. I'll be including the link down below as well for this. For me, I booked it on the 3rd of October and I wasn't really ready, but I was in a hurry because the payment for the visa was increasing. So instead of paying 2,400 for the standard application, I will have to pay 2,800 after October 4th. And I only had 8 to 9 days to prepare. Out of that 8 to 9 days, I was working 4 days, long days. So technically, I only had like 4 or 5 days to prepare. I was actually cramming, but if you're about to take it, give it like maybe 2 weeks to prepare. It's not that very hard because the more that you do the mock test, the higher chance of winning. And there is an official study guide that they actually recommended by Life in the UK team through email, and I used that. I paid for the app for £4.99. It's the official Life in the UK app. They have the mock test. They also have the study guides, but I just didn't have the time anymore to do the study guide, so I was just doing all the mock tests. I didn't even finish it. I just had like 50% progress on the study and 49% progress on the practice. And there were questions during the exam that I wasn't really able to read about on the app, and probably that's the reason why. I used as well another app that was recommended by my friend, which is this other app there. I recommend these 2 apps because those are the ones that I use. Other people were using like the free ones and they passed as well the exam. So I think it doesn't really matter as long as you went through everything. By the end of the exam, I flagged 7 questions, which means that those 7 questions, I'm not confident with the answer. And mind you guys, one of the questions in that was, when did Jesus die? The options were Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, Black Saturday, Ash Wednesday, something like that. I was so confused. I was in a Catholic school when I was in high school and I forgot. Maybe I was not expecting this question to come out there, and I just tried to be logical logical. Okay, I know that Jesus has risen from the dead 3 days after on a Sunday, which means that he died on a Good Friday. Other questions as well is like the flower of Scotland, and I was confused if it was thistle or daffodil. I also had questions about youth court hearings, like who can attend. And another question was, what age can you sell alcohol? There was also like the Battle of Hastings. Another question was, who wrote Sherlock Holmes? The year when women can vote at 35 years old. So yeah, those are the questions that I remember. After a few minutes of taking the exam, when I came out, I already received the email result and I passed. So it's just pass or fail. You will not see how many mistakes you did. And then immediately you'll get a unique reference number. There's no certificate or whatever. It's just the number, the set of numbers that you will need to include in your online application. When you booked for your Life in the UK test, it will ask for your ID. And you have to bring this ID with you. You'll not be able to take the test if you will not bring the same ID that you used to book. So that's just one thing to note as well. Take note that when you are submitting your online application, it's crucial. You have to give your full attention. You have to focus on it. Because if you make mistakes, it's just difficult to change it. If you make a really big mistake, you have to, I think, cancel your application, get a refund, and then apply again. So you don't want that. So you need to really put all your focus on doing your application online. Don't try to be distracted. Take note as well that even if you don't have the requirements yet, for example, you're still waiting for a COE from your human resource, it's okay to submit your online application because it will not ask you to upload it yet. It will just ask you questions. You just need to fill it up, but just make sure that when you are uploading your documents, it is the same as what you have answered in the form. I think I took the exam 3 p.m. I got the result that I passed. I went home and I submitted my online application. While I'm talking as well, I'm gonna show you screenshots of the online application. Okay, so let's talk about the first one. So it's just personal information, your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, passport number as well. I had to triple check my passport number. Again, you have to make sure that all information is correct. There's a question there. Since you first entered the UK, have you had any absences from the UK? All of the absences that you had, even though if you just spent 2 days in, for example, France, you have to include that here and you have to provide a reason. So I would just always say holiday. I went to Italy, Germany, and I filled it up. But before this, I already have like an Excel sheet where I put the dates that I went out and the dates I returned and the country. So that's one tip as well for you to make an Excel when you're traveling and save it for the future. Also, there is, what evidence will you provide to support the reasons for all absences from the UK? I selected here letters from employer detailing reasons for work-related absences. Because it is including the paid annual leave, then I had to choose that one. As for my identity card, I don't have anymore, so I just put no. And then I entered my Life in the UK test reference number. The system will just automatically identify if you pass or fail with that number. And then it asks for the sponsor license number as well, and the salary details, the standard occupational classification or SOC code. For us nurses, it's 2231. And then you just need to put your weekly hours worked. It's usually showing on your payslip or on your certificate of employment. Have you ever engaged in any other activities which might indicate that you may not be considered to be a person of good character? I have a very good character. And then, do you have any home office reference number? So before, when I applied to extend my visa, when I also transferred to another trust, I had those reference number on my email, so I also entered that. It's gonna ask you as well if your BRP or biometric residence permit still valid. It still have to be valid anyway. And again, I just have to repeat this. It's not asking you for the evidence yet. It's just asking you questions. It is also asking if you have received any public funds. If we are on a work visa, we are not allowed to have public funds. So that should be a no. Verification consent. So you just have to take, I will provide a declaration signed by me to confirm my consent for the Home Office to request verification checks. So that's why you have to make sure that everything that you're putting in there is actually true. Mandatory documents. These documents are mandatory and you must provide them as part of your application. Just to make sure that you will be able to provide these documents later on when you have submitted already your application. And then this is the difficult part. You have to pay for it. I chose standard service. At that time, it was still 2,400, which might plus 26 weeks of waiting time. Priority service is £2,900 and you will get a decision within 5 working days. And super priority is 3,204 and then you will get a decision at the end of the next day. Before they will ask you to pay for it, there is a big exclamation mark here. You should only move to the next page if you have checked your answers and you are ready to submit your application. Once you select continue to WorldPay, you will not be able to return and edit your application. That's why I'm telling you guys, check everything. There's always a link there to show and edit the answers. And then after paying, then this is the time that you can download the consent form, which is like the verification consent form I talked about earlier, and then to book an appointment as well. And it will tell you when is the last day that you can upload your documents. So when you book an appointment, it will redirect you to another page, which is the UKVAS website. You need to register. So there are options to book an appointment, upload documents, and I had to find my service point. So they have different prices as well, but the general one is $139. That's the cheapest that I could find. Thank you for booking your appointment. The next step is you must upload your documents. So if you can see here, you can manage and upload your documents slowly but surely. The mandatory document is actually your passport. I had to scan all the pages even though it was blank. I put it in one file so I don't have to be uploading several different PDF files. I scanned my old passport as well. Other documents are letters from employers detailing reasons for work-related absences. And just to let you know guys, I've been in 2 different trusts in my 5-day stay here in the UK and I didn't ask anything from my old trust. I just put everything, all of my travel history in one letter and I let my current manager sign it. I just put during her employment within the NHS, she has traveled outside United Kingdom on paid annual leave. And they didn't ask for any other evidence from my old trust. So I think it's okay. And my friend, she actually had this letter from a long time ago when she resigned from her old trust, maybe 3 years ago. She had this letter with all her travel history in that specific employment and then she let her manager sign it. So that was dated a long time ago, but she also submitted it as well and there was no problems. And me, I didn't have that. There were no problems as well. So I think doesn't really matter. And then declaration signed by me to confirm consent for Home Office to request verification checks. Again, this is the one that you can download and you just need to sign and then scan it with your signature. All previous passports, travel documents, or national identity cards that you have used to travel to or remain in the UK. So for me, with my travel documents, I didn't have the boarding pass anymore. So I just uploaded screenshots of my bookings on the email. Current biometric residence permit, which I scanned front and back. And then evidence of my immigration status in the UK, which is also my BRP. With my old BRPs, I just uploaded it. I think it's not really needed. And I just wrote, I don't have these cards anymore. When you submit your evidence, you can put a comment. What else? Your most recent payslip and bank or building society statement. This must not be dated no earlier than 1 calendar month before the date of the application. The statement must show the payment as shown in the payslip. You should not provide any additional payslips or statements. So this one actually delayed my application for 2 days. So this is also a common scenario. So what happened to me was when I submitted my payslip for September, because I applied October, right? I don't have my October payslip yet. The latest I had was September. But with my bank account statement, I still don't have that September pay because there's a cut-off on the bank. So it was still showing August to September, but not really including 24th of September, which is the day that I received my pay. What I did is I also uploaded the recent transactions because usually with my other applications with Schengen visa, they would accept recent transactions because it will show you how much entered into your account after the latest bank account statement. I don't know if they didn't see that or they don't really honor that. So they had to send me an email saying that your payslip doesn't match your bank account statement. So you have to submit the bank account statement showing us your September pay. It sounds complicated, but again, it's not a big problem. They just want the new thing, the new evidence, the current one. Okay, and then another one is a document from sponsor who issued the certificate of sponsorship that lead to your last permission to stay as tier 2 migrant, confirming that you are still required for the employment. I had to send an email to our HR saying that I need this certificate of employment, including this information as it's needed in my visa. So those are actually the documents that they were requiring. But again, I think you can upload 20 documents. I also have my cover letter. You can upload it on the other supporting documents that you want to add. I had one mistake here about the immigration details. Have you previously lived in a country outside of the UK, including your country of birth? So that means any country outside of the UK. And I lived in the Philippines for my entire life before coming to the UK. So that's why that should be a yes. And I mistakenly said no. I was confused with the question. I actually sent an email to apply online e-support at homeoffice.gov.uk. Hi, my name is Fatima. I submitted my online application online yesterday. I know that there should be a requirement for submitting my IELTS result, but it didn't ask for it after my submission and booking the appointment. I checked my application again and I think I mistakenly answered no instead of yes on the question, do you currently hold or held any other? Well, actually, it will not ask you for your IELTS results, but you can still upload it online. I don't know where this came from. I think from my friends who applied for it, they were talking about IELTS results, but actually on the online application, it didn't ask for it. And even with those who answered yes on that, it didn't really ask them for the IELTS results. I got a reply from them and they said, thank you for your email. There is currently no reported problems with our online services. The online forms are working as per design. Please be advised you are unable to edit any details provided within your online application. If you have confirmed your answers as correct, completed, or submitted your application, we are also unable to do so. However, if the error is in your title, name, date, and place of birth, you will be unable to enroll the biometrics correctly. I'm sorry we are unable to respond further as no technical fault has been identified. That was a minor error. I actually corrected it in my cover letter. Any minor details that is incorrect, you can always correct it in your cover letter. But if it is something like your birthday, your name, those crucial information, just contact their immigration inquiry. Anyway, I hope you wouldn't have to really send them an email. I also submitted my electricity bill, which it didn't really ask for it, but I don't know, I just uploaded it. I know this is a question like how long did you wait for a standard application? So it was basically 67 calendar days or 9 to 10 weeks of waiting time or 2 months, but their maximum is 6 months. So I have passed my Life in the UK test and I submitted my online application on the 3rd of October 2023. On October 14, I had my biometrics appointment in Mark Lane, London. I spent 27 minutes in the center because it was a bit fast. They just had to do my biometrics, took a picture of me. You just need to show them your passport and they will check everything that you have submitted, your documents and all that. December 18, I got an email from work sponsored documents request at homeoffice.gov.uk asking for the correct payslip, and then I submitted on the same day. And then 2 days after, December 20, I got the email confirmation saying that my application was successful. And then 2 days after, 22nd of December, I received my BRP card. Oh my god, I'm so happy. I'm really a permanent resident now. Like, I can do whatever. And how much did I pay for it? For the application, I paid 2,404 pounds in Philippine peso. That's 170,000 pesos. Plus, for the appointment, 139 pounds. I paid 50 pounds for the Life in the UK test. So, a total of... Charan! Ka-ching! Yeah, it's really expensive and with the cost of living, it's really bad. Whenever you travel, make sure to have like an Excel file. Type it in like the date that you traveled outside of the UK and the date that you returned, what country did you go to, and additional evidence of continuous residence in the UK, old payslips, annual bank statements, P60, tenancy agreement, or council tax bill. I didn't really submit this. I was planning to submit my old payslips because I still had my old payslips from my old trust, but I think that's not needed anymore. Like, they have enough information of me. They saw my old BRPs and my current certificate of employment saying that I've been employed in this trust from this and that. And they can see also on my passports the trips that I went to. Like, I went outside of the UK, came back a few days after. So I think that's enough evidence that I've been living continuously in the UK. And I think they will message me anyway. They will ask for more evidence if ever they needed one. I don't know anyone who had their application rejected. I think it it will be rejected if you've been lying about your criminal history, or if you've been in a terrorist activity, or if you have been using public funds, which you were not allowed if you are under a work visa, if you've been a naughty boy or girl. Indefinite leave to remain. Valid until... Huh? Why is there valid until 31st of the 12th, 2024? I don't know why there's a valid until. Are you kidding me? I have to research on that, you guys. Okay. If you have been granted ILR to remain in the past few years, you will probably have been issued with BRP with an expiry date of 31st of December 2024. Your leave to remain will remain extant beyond 31st. Initially, the reason was related to EU requirements. In due course, you will be given online access to your immigration status information via the View and Prove service. Okay, so that's just the reason why, because of the digitalization ambition of the Home Office. And that's the end of the vlog. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I hope you learned a lot. I hope it gives you more confidence with your ILR application. If this has been helpful for you guys, please comment down below. I'm going to work now. I'm gonna wear this one. This is so cute. See you on the next vlog. Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.